Thanks for joining me. I've got another in the series, The Little Word If. I'm reading from Romans 13 verse 4. And I'm jumping in, I'll explain it later. For he is the minister of God to you for good. But if you do that which is evil, be afraid. For he bears not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. And he's talking about those who have authority over. That's the context. I'll read from verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. So all the presidents, all the kings of the earth, good and bad, are ordained of God. It's God's plan. Whosoever therefore resists the power resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation, judgment. Well, the key verse for me is verses 3. Rulers are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Will thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and you shall have praise of the same. Obey the laws of the land, and you'll seek their approval. So don't grumble about paying your taxes. Many Christians moan and groan about the government. They shouldn't, they're wrong. Don't pay your taxes with joyfulness. Give to Caesar what Caesar's, unless the powers that be tell you to contravene God's laws. Then they lose their authority, because the highest authority is God. They're under authority to God. We're under authority to them. So COVID lockdown was a good example. The powers and the authority over the whole world said we should not assemble together. They said we can't meet to worship God. Well, Hebrews 10:25, this is God's authority. He said, not forsaking themselves, the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is. That's most Christians in lockdown. But exhorting one another, and so much the more, meet together much more as the day approaches. Well, we're in the last days, and that's what Paul emphasised. So much the more you need to meet together in the last days. Well, most believers obeyed the authorities, and they ignored God's instruction. And they justified it by quoting Romans 1, verse 1 of chapter 13. Let every soul be subject to the higher powers. They didn't realise that the highest power told us to not forsake the assemblies of ourselves together. So they were wrong, because the highest power is God, and he told us not to forsake the assembly of ourselves together. But they quoted Romans 13 and justified. So my advice to you is, if you made a wrong decision in COVID, because we now know that COVID was a sham, and it was to indoctrinate us, and it was a test to see if we'd conform. The whole world conformed to the authorities, and it was a test, and it proved that the whole world would conform. Well, build yourself up for the next round of restrictions that are coming, because they're coming to conform and control us. Let me tell you, it's too late when the time comes. Now you have to prepare to stand. I hope I've challenged you. Busy man, I'm going now. God bless you. Have a wonderful week.